Good morning. Yes, barely. It's barely still morning. It will be morning for a little bit longer, but not much. This is Lou. It's April 16th. I was going to say nothing very necessarily exciting about the day. However, I'm alive. That's an exciting thing, right? For me, anyway, and it is because I'm not in pain. If I was in horrible pain, I don't know that I'd really want to be. And I've messed with my hair, tried to do something a little bit different because those straggly things, they just don't look very good. And a friend of mine sent me some stuff, and I'm going to give it a try. And I just recently saw a commercial on it because I had never heard of it. But let's see if you can read it. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read it at the moment. Zepta, Zepphta, and it is something. It's supposed to help with new growth, hopefully. I think that's, let me put these things on. That's what it says, is regrow. H dash regrow 2.0 rice nutri spray. And it's got caffeine in it too. And I've been hearing about caffeine, I just don't know what. For thriving, for, oh no. For thinning hair and hair loss. Okay, so I haven't really seen a bunch of my hair leaving. I just think it's thinning. Like maybe each strand is getting thinner. I don't know. But we'd be going to try this. It says ingredients. I can't say that word. Hydro. No, my glasses are just not good enough anymore. Hydrolyzed rice protein, coffee extract, ginger root extract, aloe vera extract, and, well, it didn't say and, panthenol, and the last ingredient is biotin. Now, I just barely placed an order. I've been waiting. I've had it in my cart, but anyway, I'm going to try a new shampoo. And it's got rosemary and castor oil in it, I believe. I can look it up. But it is supposed to be good for your hair and probably stimulating your scalp and stuff like that. And I need stimulation on my face too, actually. I should be doing the cleansing and scrubbing thing and getting the rosy cheeks because rosy cheeks are cute. Even when you're old, rosy cheeks are much better than yellow ones, that's for sure. Okay, what was I going to look up? Okay, I have to go to Amazon. Do, 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 do. La, da, da, da. I've been using those greens, the super greens that I told you guys about. I'm almost out, so that's on my order. I placed another order for, it's a twin pack. So there's 20 servings per container. And sometimes I've taken it twice a day instead of just once. But what I wanted to tell you about was that shampoo. Okay, I don't have anything in my cart, so it's not going to show. To go to my recent orders, I guess. Where's it at? Come on. Silly me. No, I didn't really have any thoughts for what I was going to do. I know I need to do that. But you know, sometimes if you wait for the thought, then it doesn't come, and then you don't do, and there you are. And sometimes my thoughts come as I do. So, well, this is still loading. It's not going to get right on there, but it's a shampoo that's got rosemary and I'm sure castor oil. And and rosemary. There might be some other things in it too. I'm not sure what they are. But you spray this stuff that I just showed you right on your scalp. And I had all my hair all pulled tight. And I was going to do it. I'm going, well, you can't really get in there very well. That was yesterday or the day before. Yeah. So I took a shower yesterday and got all cleaned hair and all that. When I've had oil all over my face, especially, it just don't stay clean long. I put oil on today. It's in the other room. I have a shorter bottle of castor oil. And there's still pure castor oil in there. But I have mixed the castor oil. Well, actually, that's my other container. I've mixed the castor oil with vitamin E oil. I got both of them at Walmart. I'm pretty sure. So I just went ahead and got castor oil in a plastic container, even though I know I need to have the glass. You want glass. I wonder why that's taking so long. I'm going to just take it off and not worry about it. I was looking for shampoos. We were in a store. I don't know what store it was. And we went over and checked, you know. And they had some shampoos, but oh my God, I was going to say an ungodly price. I said, no, I think I'll happen to look online, see what I can find there. You know, because you have the world at your fingers there. Whereas you've just got this local store over here, and you depend on what they've got in stock and what they actually ordered, because they don't order everything. And I know from having my own business that, you know, you need to find what sells, and that's what you need to get. You know, instead of worrying about all these different things that you have no idea if they're going to sell or not. So, yeah, that's where branding, I guess, comes in. For me, it's not all about the brand. What it's about is the ingredients and then the price, because, you know, some of us just can't afford to buy everything. We might want to. I can remember when I was able to, just for a short period of time, I had a good income, and it wasn't really a good income, but I had an income, and I didn't have bills, except for your normal utilities and stuff. I mean, my house was paid for, and my car was an old car. I would call it an old jalopy. And that's what I've been calling cars lately. I wouldn't mind having one of those old cars, but I guess everybody else would just terrorize you up. You know, like one of those old, I don't know what year cars, way back when. And it's just a little box with wheels on it and a steering wheel. Hey, but it got you somewhere. So today's version of that is the golf cart. And a lot of people use those. A lot of the older generation, they're in these 55 plus clubs. Not clubs, but communities, we'll say. And a lot of them are, I don't know if there's any actual real stick-built houses in those communities. They're mostly, I think, anyway, they're mostly trailers. We call them trailers, but they're manufactured homes made a little stronger than a trailer. You get all set up in a park, and then you've got a nice high-end trailer park with double wides and some triple wides, and they have an HOA, or they have something where the lawns are taken care of. You don't got to worry about it. And they have wonderful things actually in those communities, because they have a clubhouse. I would call it a clubhouse, and in there you can do exercises and things, and you can also have parties, bring your people in. There's cooking facilities usually, and everything you need. You just leave it clean. And I don't know that you have to pay. You probably get that as a perk for being in the park. You just have to reserve it. And swimming pool. I mean, so there's perks for being in these places. No, I haven't been in one, but my brother did temporarily move into one, and it was a really killer deal. He found one that ended up being like $200 a month for your everything, including the clubhouse and the swimming pool, and you could use it every day as far as the exercise equipment and the pool. I don't know what else they had, but what a deal. That would have been a killer deal. You get a nice trailer. You don't want a piece of crap, but you get a nice trailer, and it can be one you pull behind your truck, and you park there. What a cheap way, but I'm sure it's not like that now. I mean, that would be the way to go. I'd be real tempted to do that. Now, Arizona, no, I don't want to live there during the summer, but in the wintertime, that would be nice. Be real nice. And in the summer, even if you can stay in and your electricity is going to cost everywhere you go, unless they actually release that technology. No, I keep hearing, or I have heard, that we should be able to get electricity for free. But how to get it, I don't know. It's hanging around. It's static electricity in the air. That stuff that shocks you when you walk across the floor. It's like, wow, you touch something and you get an electrical shock. Some people worse than others. I think my sister Nancy was getting shocked a lot during a short period of time when we were at Dad's. And she came to help. Everybody thought I was being all lazy because I was laying on the bed. I couldn't get up. I was sick. I was sicker than a dog. Too sick to even go tell them I was sick. I just stayed in the bed. Burning frickin' up. I was burning up with a fever. Not eating, not drinking water, not taking my pills, not doing anything I was supposed to do. But the family thought I was being lazy. Like that's really what I would do. I would have loved to have been up helping, for heaven's sakes. Now let me just go lay down while everybody else does everything. People are not always lazy. You need to give them a shadow of a doubt. It's just I haven't known my family for so long. I left. Actually, I went to go help Mom and Dad with their propane company and ended up putting down roots. And so when they finally did move back to Vancouver where I wanted to be, they actually didn't move to Vancouver, but they moved to Washington. And they couldn't afford Vancouver, so they moved to the eastern part of the state. Kennewick is known for, Kennewick, Pasco, and what's that other place? Richland. Nice communities, nice everything, really. Not a lot of greenery. There's more like the high desert type of deal. I really do love trees. And I love pathways that make it easy to walk through those trees. Anyway, Pennsylvania has got the trees too. Actually, there's trees across the street, and when they start blooming, it's going to be nice. When they get their leaves going on. When they actually look like a tree instead of a twig. And they're tall twigs, okay, but what I mean is they lost their leaves. And so they're all naked. Naked to the world. That's just something I've picked up on lately. Something about being naked. Sharing your soul with somebody. So you're open. There's nothing hiding anything. We've all got our past. I've got my past. It's been so long ago, I've forgotten about it, but boy, definitely not. I don't know what I want to say about that. Judging from looking outside the box, it was not cool. I wasn't out stealing and hurting other people, but my behavior was hurting myself. Plus, I just found myself in some bad situations, really bad situations. It just shows you that people are not the way you are. You think in your mind anyway, in my mind, I think everybody's like me, but they're not. So, no, they might have an agenda. They have different thoughts and different patterns. And the carnal man, what is that? The carnal man, sexual lust. You get caught up in that game. And believe me, people, girls, they always promise you the world and they don't give it to you. Or they just want to get what they want to get, and then it's over and done. Or I guess you could be friends with benefits, and then it's not over and done. But that's a dangerous situation too, because we do fall. I was going to say we do fall in love, but a lot of times we fall in what's comfortable. It's comfortable. But it's not all that. It's not everything that you want it to be. But I tell you what, you can make it that way. I do think you can create love by loving. It's a strange phenomenon. But just be careful out there. Don't go do what Lou did. Although I know a whole lot of people did what I did, and actually a whole lot worse. I just, if you find yourself out there in the world, so what? You have to be a beacon of light. You have to be the unusual one without judging. That's not a good, that's not an easy thing, is what I'm trying to say. Judge not, that ye be not judged. And remember, that judgment that you give out, you'll be judged with. And yeah, I got a feeling, I mean, he probably already knows, but it's all going to be stored up there. He'll be able to tap into it if he doesn't already. It's hard to believe that he could be aware of every single person and their needs. I'm sure that's why there's organization and there's an army. Probably an army of angels too. Taking instruction and orders from the one on high. Just like the church today, there's a prophet, he has 2 counselors, and then there's 12 apostles. Well, I don't know what all their jobs are, but it's tremendous because they're taking care of the church all over the world. Okay, and meaning callings and different, like temples being built, churches being built, missionaries going out in the field teaching. There's an office building in Salt Lake. I'm thinking it's the old hotel, and it's called the Joseph Smith Building, is what I'm thinking. But there's another building that's the office building, so I don't know. Mom and Dad, they went on a mission there, and they were helping do the Ellis Island. They were putting all the immigrants' information in the database from Ellis Island. They were there 6 months. I went and visited them there while they were there. I'm not sure who I was with at that time, or if I was by myself. Anyway, I was in Salt Lake, right downtown on Temple Square. Across the street from Temple Square is the Joseph Smith Building. And I'm right now, I think, in between the two. When I say right now, it's been a while. There's an infinity pool. There's this great big, it would be like a fountain, but I don't know if it's a fountain. But you look into the pool and you can see yourself over and over and over again. Infinity. That's a big deal, because forever is something we can't even imagine, you know? I told somebody once, this is just a little analogy, and somebody had told me, okay, so you see this, you put it on its side, so it's real thin, okay, and then you stand like massive amount away. And how many of these little teeny slits fit inside that space? And this would be the symbolism of your life. Your life here on earth is a blink of an eye. Really. That's an amazing thing to think about, when it sometimes seems so slow and other times seems so fast. There it goes. I don't have very long, because I always wait until the last minute. I have I still have time. I have a prior engagement, which I'll stop for. Anyway, I was wondering about spraying this stuff on my, because I want to grow some hair in here. The same thing over here. I would love to have thicker, beautiful hair, but my time for that may be over, because when I was young, boy, I had quite the thick hair. And when you think about thick hair, do you realize what I'm trying to say is one strand of hair was thick. It's not the same anymore. That thick hair kind of thinned out. And I want my hair back. I cannot read that word. No, I can't read it. It's either a word that I'm not aware of, or I just can't see it. They need to put the lettering on here bigger so you can read it. Shelf life is 3 years. That's good. Okay. And see, when they do that, they're probably still just guessing. They're just covering their butt to not go further. So, one of those little things that I read on here when I first started my channel, this came to my head. I might have mentioned it the other day, so I don't know what's going on about that. My mama said I'd lose my head if it wasn't fastened on. Well, today I guess it wasn't, because while walking with my cousin, It fell off and rolled away, and now it's gone. I can't see it because my eyes are in it. I can't call to it because my mouth is in it. And I couldn't hear me anyway because my ears are in it. So I thought I would just sit down on this rock and rest for just a minute. I like that. I mean, my daughter was so young, like maybe 2 or 3, when me and my girlfriend found that. I don't know where it came from. What it is like my papers that I write, except for this had artwork. It was like a stick figure, but not. You know, it was just a very simple drawing of a headless woman sitting down on her head. The head that fell off and rolled away and now it's gone is now under her butt. And she's going to rest for just a minute, okay? So the drawing does make the poem. Anyway, I thought that was funny. Seems like I either thought about it the other day or I mentioned it the other day. But it is on the list, that's why. Because I went and looked up in my post, where it says post, click on that and scroll down. And there's a white piece of notebook paper with my handwriting on it that's got the some of the papers that I put on there. The titles, because you have to put, if you're going to search for them, you have to put the title. It has to be just right. I don't know about the capital letters, but the other part. Like, just for instance, turn on your light so you are not in the dark. You'd have to write all those words. And then put on, lose, touch. Always add on, lose, touch. LOU''S TOUCH. Because I have no clue how many millions of channels there are out there and how many people are putting videos up, but there's a lot. And so you might not find me if you do not put on, lose, touch. You probably will not find me. It would be amazing. But otherwise, you will know when you find me because my picture will be everywhere. And I would appreciate you subscribing and hitting that notification bell and also sharing me with your friends. The stuff that I did in the beginning was so important to me. Those papers, I wrote them so many years ago, and I've held on to them all these years. First I wrote them, then later, when I was able, I typed them. And then later, I made lots of copies and gave them away. But I also was going out and about way when my daughter was young. I was going out at night and I was meeting a lot of people and I was sharing my stuff with them. And so even though I was going out into the night, I still feel like I brought light to a lot of people. And I had people really like my stuff and ask if they could use it. And I told them they could. And then I also, if you go to publish something, you realize, you find out that the first time you share it with a person, that's publishing. So I'm published. I don't know how many people have my stuff or kept on, held on to my stuff, but I'm glad I did. And they are on here, but it's from July 16th forward of 2023. You could put a random date in my On Lose Touch, and it should pop up with everything I did that day. And I'm sure if you've noticed, I mean, you should have noticed that my dates are numerals. So like 1 and then a forward slash and then the date and a forward slash in the year. And I don't know, in the beginning I might have done 2023, but I just started putting, the 23, 24, 25 part. I didn't do the 4 numbers. I think it's probably pretty evident. And if you do the 4 numbers, it'll put you back a century or something, But in this century, it should be okay. Like I said, my time is running out. I wanted to, I really shouldn't show you, but I do need to take some more. I'm not sure the date. I started to write down the dates of when I'm taking the ivermectin. But here's one that's not been used. Okay, so this whole thing, I'm trying to divide up into about 10 doses. But I don't think I'm making it. Go see those ridges? I'm using at least 3 to 4 ridges at a time. And you unscrew this thing, go down 3 or 4 ridges, and then you can squirt it into my mouth. It's a horse wormer, so you would squirt it into the horse. But the horse will take the whole thing. This container will do a 1,250-pound horse. Let's see, that's upside down. Beautiful horse, ivermectin. And you know what? I was so surprised. Really, I stuck it on my tongue and I washed it through my mouth without any cracker. And it was not bad. Really wasn't bad. It says removes worms and bots with a single dose. For oral use in horses only. It's a horse wormer. I'm not sure, but I was told many years ago to do a detox, and also it gets rid of worms. They weren't talking about this. They were talking about how they got over cancer. And I was told that I should get a colon cleanse. So of course I did. I got a colon cleanse and one that's really traumatic because I think it'll last for a week. But you can see those things in the toilet. The ones that I'm talking about were like butter beans. They look like butter beans, but without the meat of the butter bean. If you ever look at a butter bean, it's kind of fat. So it would just be the skin without the fat. That's what I saw in the toilet. Those are parasites too. Yes, I can't see, and I got these wrinkles going on. But I tell you what I did do before I get off here, because I got to get off. I did take some of my castor oil, and I just put some, I took it like this, so that the castor oil was left, and then I put it on my little fatty stuff under my eyes, and then I patted it all around my eyes. I put it on my eyelids, and I put it on my eyebrows, and then I started putting it on my wrinkles. Hopefully my hair won't get all greasy right away. But I do need to do that. So I need to spray this stuff on my scalp. The girl that gave it to me, I asked her how she was doing, and she said that she was seeing new growth. Lots of little short hairs, but that's cool. I would love it. I would love to grow some hair. And I would love for the hair that's there to get thicker. So hopefully something will help nourish it. But it is true though. We have to remember, or maybe even just think, that our body was made to rejuvenate. to recreate itself. I don't know about teeth. I heard that you could regrow your teeth. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know if you have to be an experimental rat, but where's it at? You know, I'd love to grow my teeth back. Might be painful though, but wouldn't that be cool? It would. It would be great to have my original teeth back. And I mean original. Before my mouth, let's see, I had a problem with my tongue going forward every time I swallowed, and it pushed my teeth forward out of my gums. I mean, it wouldn't be long before it would have been out of my gums when I had them removed. Sometimes we just don't have the right doctors to help us out. I mean, they don't tell you everything. For instance, I'm at the dentist office getting teeth removed, and I can hear the dentist in the next cubicle type deal with somebody. I'm not sure how old she was, but the dentist was giving her that lecture that she needed to save her teeth, right? But then she comes in to my side and just removes my teeth. So, I mean, there's a problem there. That's not consistency, is it? She didn't try to get me to keep my teeth at all. My nose looks dark right there. Have you heard that expression? That's a bad expression. Brown noser. Let me see. I don't know if I can change it. It might just be from going to the tanning booth. Maybe I'm getting a tan on the tip of my nose. Anyway, I've got to go, people. My alarm's going to go off any second. Take care. I'll be back. And beware. Beware. I don't know the rest of what goes with that. It's something to do with Disney. It's a cartoon with that. Beware. Beware. I think it's talking about pink elephants. But anyway, it's a cartoon, a short one, not a movie. It might be in. No, I was going to say it might be in Dumbo. Maybe I should look at Dumbo. Take care, guys. All right. Bye.